Omosoya. Welcome to today's event where you'll be getting more information about study loan in the US. Oh, amazingly, we have, oh, great. So right now we have our speaker today. I'll be introducing him in a bit. But before I introduce him, I'd just like to, sort of explain why you're here, because I understand that it is important for you to know why you're here so you can get the most of this event. Now, we're going to be, a lot of people, struggle to international institutions because of funding. Funding has been one of the major problems that Nigerian students have, especially when they intend to study abroad. It's actually a very huge problem, and then at PAVE, one of the things that we try to do is that we try to simplify all the learner's process, try to ensure that whatever bottlenecks you're going to experience in studying abroad, we ensure that we're able to eradicate it. So we ensure that we get strategic partnerships that ensure ease of study, funding availability, the end-to-end experience is what we are all about. And so I'm going to be introducing the speaker today without wasting much time. He's actually from our partner organization, that's Empower. I know a couple of people know Empower, but you don't know how we relate to Empower. Empower is one of the biggest funding financial institutions that help African students to leverage on international education. They give loans to a whole lot of African countries, and Nigeria is not an exception. So today we have Supriyo on the call, and he will be giving us the end-to-end information that we need. And the aim of this is that at the end of the day, whatever confusion that you have is sorted out. If you have questions, you can ask. You can use the chat box if you have questions. If you want to unmute and ask your questions, that's acceptable as well. But please, just for the sake of orderliness, it would be nice for us to use the hand raising so we can allow you on mute so that we don't talk over each other. Without any further introduction, I would like Supriyo to please go ahead and start the presentation. But whatever it is you need to know, please know that our website is www.pavehq.com. You can go ahead and start your application via that platform. If you you already have an admission as well, we can take you from the admission stage to the loan stage. So what stage you are in right now, there's something for you. So go ahead and introduce yourself, and then you can start with your presentation.
A very good morning, good afternoon to everybody. This is Supriyo from Empower, and thank you, Olamiji, and the entire PAV team, for inviting Empower to this particular session. It's really amazing to see the meritorious students, bright future of global citizens attending this event today. I think you have made the best decision today to attend this meeting, because this is really going to pave your way to achieve your academic dreams, that is studying abroad in US or Canada. I am a thorough edtech professional with more than 15 years of experience in the tech industry, led global renowned organizations, their sales and business development, like Extramarks and Topper in my previous stint. At Empower, I am leading the African continent, South Asia and Southeast Asia market. My role and my dealings are with managing partnerships, building partnerships, and ensure that the students coming from them, they get the loans from Empower. They get the loans from Empower in the smoothest possible way. Without wasting any time, I would like to share my screen and take you to the presentation. Well, I think everyone here attending this particular session, they would have in their mind a couple of questions today. And those questions would be pertaining to, since we are speaking about loan and financial options, they must be thinking, is it a bank? Do I have to really stand in a queue? Do I have to bring my parents, submit collaterals, get them a guarantor to really avail the much needed fund to chase my dreams and fulfill my dreams? If you have these questions in your mind, I think at the end of this particular session, you would be very happy and you will leave with a very, very confident and with a hope that with Empower and Pave, you would be able to achieve your destination, your success. So Empower was co-founded by a former international student for international students. It was Manu who founded this organizations with Mike. They were both international students, and they faced the same hardships which you people have faced uh, or are even facing when they came to US. You know, one day, one of Manu's friend came seeking his help and wanted to borrow just $500 to pay the rent of his apartment. And he clearly said Manu that he won't be able to really sustain his education or continue his education if he is not able to pay the rent of his apartment. So Manu was taken aback and thought that such a bright and intelligent student, and he was doing really very well in his
Hi,
academics.
superiors. Sorry for cutting you short. Could you please turn off your video because when you talk it breaks for a while. So maybe turn off your video and then so that it could be a bit smoother.
Sure.
Thank you.
So that's when Manu decided that we should really go all out and help those meritorious students who are really seeking to change their lives because they have got this fundamental right uh, to education, and finance or financing options should not pose any bottleneck or a barrier for the deserved candidates. So the mission for Empower has always been, uh, you know, to enable high promise global citizens to help them achieve their academic and financial aspirations because we completely believe in the socio-economic mobility, and in fact that should be borderless. We are a social benefit corporation, and as I mentioned that it was started by and for international students. So as I mentioned at the outset of this particular session that most of you would have in your mind that the students, a lot of students like you are facing challenges, you know, securing financing for international education. Because if you look into the the banks and their systems and processes, right, they still are backward looking. They would ask uh, to come up with guarantors. They would assess, uh, parents' financing position, and only then with collaterals, a lot of documents and stuff, they would come up with their decisions. And most often, the brightest of the students, they are left out just because they don't have enough resources. And my heart really goes out to such students because uh, they have got every right to achieve their dreams, to achieve and complete their ac- academic aspirations because they have really worked so hard. to come to this particular stage. So collateral and cosigner has always been the bottlenecks and pain points for international students. But it's 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 absolutely different. And for Empower, we have always wanted to help the students to address this issue of collaterals and cosigner. So with Empower, our USP is we offer a no collateral or a cos or no cosigner loan, and the loan is completely, is offered based on students' ability uh, to and their future earning potential. We have been, lending to the talented international students attending top universities, and that has been based on using big data credit decisioning models. Over the last 8 years, there have been thousands of students who have got loan from our organization, and we have been able to assess the students' potential by analyzing uh, the their future earning potential, the way they need funds to sustain their education and their life when they are abroad and doing their studies. So, our borderless lending is always based on the future earning potential and not on the collateral or the cosigner, which the other banks or institutions would be seeking from the students. So, it has been a long way, and as you could see, like we are uh, offering financial options to this financial options to the students who are seeking to study in US and Canada. At the moment, we are partnered with more than 400 top universities, right? And those our students can actually apply for any one of the universities that we are working with. We have processed more than $3.5 billion worth loan applications to date, and students across 200 countries, they come and they reach out and they seek and they take our service when it comes to financing options. And the stalwarts and the giants in the US, like US News, very credible sources like NerdWallet, they have always ranked Empower as the best students loan for the international students. So our focus is North America, right? US and Canada. Uh, any student who is aspiring to pursue their studies, higher studies in US or in Canada, they are most welcome to explore and to start their applications with us. And as I mentioned, that we have partnered and we have with more than 400 universities, which are top notch across the world. The eligible students here need to be within 2 years of their graduation, which is one of the mandatory features of Empower Loan. Now let's get into and let's understand, the features of the Empower Loan. We are funding the students up to 100,000 US dollars, and it ranges from it would be as minimum as $2,001 to $100,000. So this is the maximum loan limit which the students can take from Empower. Per academic term, we offer $50,000 max to the students. So the first year, the students would be able to take and utilize $50,000. And for the next year, that is the year two, they would be able to again take and seek $50,000 to complete their studies. As I mentioned earlier, that students who are within 2 years of their graduation are only eligible to seek loan from Empower. Now, this $100,000 covers your tuition fees, your housing on campus and off campus, your meals, books, and other expenses, which can be invoiced by the university. So anything which is mentioned on the university as far as the costs involved or the various options of finance and expenses would be taken care of by Empower. We have a wonderful 10-year principal repayment period, and which kickstarts once you graduate, and you know you you have a moratorium period of 6 months after your graduation. So your principal amount payment would start after 6 months of your graduation, but there is a very small, simple interest payment while you are studying in your campus, right? So once you get admitted, you get a loan from Empower and you kickstart your studies in campus. You need to pay only a small interest payment. And then after 2 years and 6 months, your simple interest plus principal repayment would kickstart. There is no prepayment penalty. You can always come up
I
and
see. Sorry, I'm having to cut you short, but the network is really very poor. And I think that you've gotten to the very important part of the presentation, and I think it's very important that people are able to, get this information clearly. I don't know, is there a possibility of maybe adjusting your network or maybe changing your location for just a bit so that we can hear you clearly? It just keeps breaking, and again, this is the most important part of the information you've been given since. And I think that everybody will want to get like the full experience of whatever what is on your presentation at this time. So could you please help, maybe adjust your net?
sure. I hope now I'm audible.
Oh, okay, this is better. It's better now.
Better? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So as I was mentioning that there is no prepayment penalty, so you can always come up with balloon payments and pre-close your loan, right? Unlike any other banks wherein they would not be very happy if you come up with balloon payments, it's absolutely different with Empower because we always, encourage you. If you have additional payments, you please come and you can come up with, you know, balloon payments and close your loans. The application process is completely online. It's a cloud-based application process. It's super simple and user-friendly. So you don't have to really stand in a queue, pursue or chase any banking officer or executive to get your loan approved. It's completely online. You would be able to see where do you stand, and you would be getting the communication and updates from Empower time to time as you move uh, through the various stages of the loan application process. And we also cover your past and pending expenses up to 180 days. Now, the other benefits that we share with the students along the journey is you will find a lot of institutions or banks who would ask you to pay money or would charge you, will ask you to submit substantial amount to share the visa support letter. But here at Empower, it's completely free of cost. So you would get a visa support letter for your I-20 and visa applications completely free of cost. We don't charge a single penny to give you that. The direct disbursements would take place to the university directly. So we have our global servicing capabilities to, you know, transfer payments to any university. So you don't have to really worry about forex charges or transfer fees because it's a direct relationship between Empower and your university. You can just do your studies, you can continue studying, and we will take the financing, part of your journey, and it's absolutely on us. We will take care of that. Now, even after passing your graduation, once you graduate, you can actually start repayment from any part of this particular world. We have, as I mentioned, that we have our networks across 200 countries. So wherever you are, you would be able to send us, and you can start your repayment with Empower. One more very important aspect that I would like to suggest here is your credit building in US. Since you are taking and you would be getting a dollar loan from Empower, and since Empower is a US based organization headquartered at Washington, DC, it will help you to build your US credit history. Now, I think a lot of you would be aware of that when you go to US, if you want to rent an apartment, even if you want to rent a car or get access to the the credit facilities or the financial ecosystem in US, you have to build and come up with a fantastic US credit score, that is the FICO score. And we make your life easy in that sense because you are taking a dollar loan from Empower and you are repaying it to Empower, and that helps building your US credit score there. Even I think you'll be surprised to know that a lot of employers would ask the candidates to submit their US credit score before they sit for the interview. So it is very, very important um, building the credit score when you are in US. And as I mentioned, that it's not only a commercial relationship that we have with you. There's a lot of love that is, that's going across and reaching out to you because we understand we'll be only successful if we help you get successful in life. And that's why we support you find your dream job with our program that is Path to Success, where we help you with resources, repositories, help you connect with various alumni, with your career guidance, career support. And this particular program, Path to Success, is completely complimentary, that goes to all our Empower borrowers. So Empower is a social benefit corporation, and it's it has holistic uh, it's holistic in nature when it comes to the features and attributes. It's not only the fund that you get from Empower, but there are scores of features and additional benefits that you get from Empower when you take loan from Empower financing. Now let's come to what are the interest rates. The interest rates are simple interest rates, and they are not compounding in nature. It is in reducing nature, right? And especially for the graduate program, the people who would be going for their masters, the interest rate is 11.99% fixed. That means when I say fixed, that means throughout the loan of the life of the loan, you are absolutely clear about the EMI. You would be able to manage and plan your expenses and your budgets well. I think most of you attending this session would be aware that the federal rates, the LIBOR rates across the world are going up. The rates are changing and it's increasing day by day. Now, if you sign up with a lender offering you with a variable interest rate, that might take your current interest rate to a very next level because it will be always variable in nature. It will not be fixed. And with every Fed rate hike, you will end up paying a lot many dollars for your EMIs. But with Empower, that is completely taken care of. So we are offering you from the day one a fixed rate of interest, so that even if the Fed rates goes to the next level or to any extent, you're covered and your risk is absolutely taken care of. So 11.99% for graduate program, and then there is an interest discount up to 1.5%. So the fixed simple interest rate would become 10.49%. And there is a small origination fee of 5% that is attached to the amount that we disburse to the university. It is not on the loan sanction, but to the amount that we transfer to the university. So on an average, the graduate APR, that is the annual percentage rate, would be between 11.59% to 12.94. Now for masters, as I said, that it is pretty straightforward. We are covering the entire 2 years of your education. But for undergraduates, it will always be the last 2 years of their graduation. The first and second year, we at Empower, we don't offer loans to those students. It will always be the third and the fourth year graduate students. So the interest rate, hello. So the interest rate for the undergraduates is 13.99. There is again a interest rate discount, which most of our students they avail, and it's pretty straightforward of 1.5%. That makes the simple interest as 12.49%. The origination fee of 5%, that leads to an APR of 13.63 to 14.98%, which the students get. And as I mentioned, that we always cover the last 2 years of funding. So how you get this 1.5%? So as I said, that there is a discount of 1.5%, right? So it's pretty simple, and it's just a giveaway kind of a feature from us. When you sign up for an auto debit, you attach your US bank account or a Canadian bank account to Empower for auto debit of the repayment. You get 0.5% discount. If you stay disciplined and you pay your first 6 simple interest payment, we again offer you with 0.5% discount. And then when you complete your graduation and you provide us with the proof of employment, we again come up with and reward you with 0.5% discount. So that makes 0.5 plus 0.5 and 0.5, 1.5% discount straight away on the fixed interest rate. Now, I would really like to spend some time to help you understand why fixed rates are important in a rising rate environment. As you could see here, Empower is offering a fixed interest rate of 10.49%. If you venture out and you see or you sign up or even think of signing up with a lender which is offering a variable interest rate, for you it might sound tempting because they might offer you a bit lower interest rate to kickstart your journey. But the journey is not for a year or two, it is for 10 years. So when you will do your research, secondary research, you will find that the Fed rates have always been going up. It might have come down momentarily, but it has always seen an upward trend. So even if you sign up at say 10% or even 9.5% somewhere with the variable rate of interest, down the line 10 years from 2020 to 2030 or even 2032, 10 years, you will find that you have landed approximately over and above 13%, near to close to 15%. I'm pretty sure that you're aware of the fact that the federal rates have gone up by a couple of percent this last in the last 6 months. So just imagine if you continue during this interest rate hikes in a variable interest rate model, you will end up paying much more money to your lender if you do not sign up on the fixed interest terms. So it is less risky. You will pay a much less amount in terms of financing cost to the lender, and it is always, you will have a, you know, sound sleep at night because you are aware what EMI is going to really get deducted from your bank on every month. Now, who's eligible for an Empower loan, right? So student who could be conditionally accepted or enrolled in the university, right, can apply for an Empower loan. They should be 2 years away from our, from their future program, and they should be seeking degree seeking programs only. I would like to reiterate this fact. They should be seeking degree seeking programs only uh, to ensure their eligibility. For Canadian students, we disburse loan only after the visa is confirmed for the student. We do not give any acceptance letter, nor we approve any loan if the student do not get visa. So students, those who are, SDS visa applicants, right, uh, could apply for funding, but we would need visa to confirm the loan support letter. So for Empower, it is always easy for non-SDS visa students because it's a straightforward process and we can fund them up to $100,000. But there's a lot of love coming from our students and our customers. As you could see on Trustpilot reviews, we have got as high as 4.7 stars, which is just incredible because of our service, trust, goodwill that we have been able to build all through these years with our students. So I would urge and would request all students and all the candidates here to come explore the financing option of Empower, seeking seeking the guidance and advice from our partner PAVE, and they are the best partners so far in the African continent, and they have helped a lot of students across getting loans from Empower. Coming to the online application process, it's very, very simple. It's fast and hassle-free. Right? To check your eligibility, you just need an UTM link from PAVE. Once you get that particular loan application link, you will just click that link. You will come to Empower's website. There is an eligibility section which will take less than 30 seconds to check your eligibility, whether you're eligible, basic eligibility, to check your basic eligibility. Once you get that done, then we'll ask you to fill in very basic details of yours, like your name, your address, the university, where you're going, you have been accepted, what is the funding that you need. And here we are not really asking any documents to be uploaded, right? So it would take only less than 30 minutes, right? Precisely 20 minutes or to fill in this section. 20 minutes, I think anyone and everybody would be happy to do this. Based on that, disclosure, based on that information, we would come up and would share with you a conditional offer. Now, the conditional offer means that whatever you have disclosed or whatever you have shared with Empower, based on that information, you stand a higher chance or a probability to get a loan from Empower, provided you submit the right set of documents. Now, once you get that particular offer, then we will ask you to upload the documents, which will take less than 15 minutes because the documents are very straightforward. It will always be available with you. It's there on the portal, or you might get it from PAVE as well. So they'll also help you out to understand what kind of documents are required. Once you upload that document, then we would take 7 business days to come up and share with you a decision on your application. So once you get the approval, then we will send your details to the school for certification. Obviously, it varies from schools to school, but they normally take 2 to 10 weeks time to come back and once your enrollment is verified by the school's end, then we go and we disperse your, funds to the school straight away. Okay, so this is what is the process, and it's pretty simple. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6 steps, and that's about it. No hassle, no standing in the queue. No, you don't need to really chase for collaterals. You don't have to come up with cosigner, and it's pretty straightforward, right? So now it's very, very important that you apply using the link which Pave would share with you, because the UTM link which Pave would share with you, that's where you would be getting the service from Pave and also from Empower, right? You'll get the information, you'll get access to know and understand where you stand, and obviously, being one of our trusted partner, they would be able to offer you the best of their services. With this, I would like to close the presentation, and I'll be opening up the floor for questions.
Yes, thank you very much, Superior, for the brief presentation on how to assess loan in the US and UK for studies. Before we go into the questions, I'm just going to do a quick recap for those that joined late, because it's also important for them to be able to catch up. And then, you were breaking, for a while, and I'm sure that there was some key information that people missed. So I'd just like to do a brief recap of what you shared, and then questions can come in afterwards. One thing that for Empower loan, you do not need a co-signer. In case you don't know what a co-signer means, it means somebody who is resident in the US, and currently has a credit score. Also, you can take up to 100,000 USD in loan. Now, the first loan you're eligible to, you can take 50,000 for your first time, and then when you're in the second year, you can decide to take another 50,000 USD. Okay, and then the fixed interest rate is 11.99 for postgraduate, and it's at a reducing balance. Reducing balance means that if you start to pay and then you start to pay the principal on the loan, the interest reduces based on the principal. So if it's 12% of 11.99% of 50,000 USD, if you pay 5,000 USD out of the 50,000 USD, you're paying 11.99 of the balance of the loan of what you've not paid, of the principal. Okay, and then you also get visa support letter. So it means that when Empower grants you loan, they don't just let you go to the embassy and then struggle it out. They give you a support letter that you can take to the embassy for your interview. And then you also can get up to 1% discount on your interest. Please mute your mic.
1.5%.
1.5%, okay. Please, can you mute your mic if you're not talking? You can get up to 1.5% discount off your interest. Now, you can get this if you give Empower like an auto debit instruction. That means that they tend to take like the interest, automatically, and maybe when it's time to pay your principal as well, they can take it automatically. So they give you 5% discount when they have that instruction to auto debit you. They also give you another 0.5% when you pay 6 times consecutively your simple interest rates. And then who is eligible for this loan? As long as you are unconditionally, right? As Superior, is it conditionally or unconditionally accepted? I didn't get that part correctly. Can you hear me, Superior? Are you supposed to be conditionally accepted or unconditionally accepted? Which is it? It's
conditionally accepted and admitted.
For US, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then for Canada, you have to be unconditionally accepted.
Yeah.
And then, yes, how to apply? You need to apply using for Canada, you have to be accepted. You have to have received visa. Now, the money isn't going to your personal account. It will be paid into the school's account, because I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, maybe they'll put the money into my account. No, the money won't go into your personal account. It will be paid directly into the school's account, and it covers your tuition. And I think for US, I think it also covers everything that is on your I-20. So if it includes your
absolutely, it covers tuitions, housing, meals, books, yes, and other expenses,
exactly,
which can be invoiced by the university.
Exactly. So that's for US basically. For Canada, is it same with Canada?
Yeah. It's Canada
Okay.
for Canada as well. Anything that can be invoiced by university could be taken care of by Empower.
All right then. How to apply? You can apply using the UTML link that I dropped on the group chat. The one has been dropped on the group chat. Now it is important that you apply via that link because it sort of gives you a kind of leverage that you're coming from their partner. You're not just coming directly. And then of course you know that with partnership, there's always that that upper hand that we get. You know, we can always help follow up. We can, you know, when you need to know what the status of your application is, you know, you don't have to worry or wait on the queue. It just sort of speeds up the whole process for you. Now, if you have an admission, they have eligible schools. You can use the same link to find the schools that are eligible and the courses that are eligible, the schools that are eligible for this loan, and then apply. And then if you don't have any admission at all and you're wondering, oh, how do I go about it? Don't worry. PAVE is here to make sure that that's exactly why we are here, to make sure that your admission process is very, very smooth. So you just need to log on to our platform, which is www.pavehq.com, to select the US schools that are eligible, and then you can select the schools that are eligible. We can help with the application process. When you get your conditional offer, then we can pick up the process. Now, it is important that you start early because, again, this loan is available, but you also know that it is towards, you know, academic session. So September academic session is I think for some schools it's closed. So we can look towards your January. You can already start your application for those that don't have admission yet. For those that have admission yet, they already have admission, you're welcome to apply using that link. If we'll send an email after this webinar with the link you can apply with, and then you can go ahead and apply. And now we can go into questions. So I have a couple of questions. For those asking for the recording, you can find the recording on our YouTube channel at PAVE HQ Africa. All you need to do is to search for us on YouTube, you find the video, you can watch it over and over again, have your friends and your family and every other person that you feel needs this kind of information, watch it. You know, because information is power, right? And it's good to always share this information when you have it. So we'll be going into questions. I have one or two questions for Supriyo before we start to read the questions in the chat box.
Olamide, I need to reiterate one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
For all the students, at the end of the day, you will come across a lot of options in your life. But do remember, you know, when it comes to Empower is an organization which not only supports you with your funding options, but also ensures and supports you with Path to Success program, which is a career development and career guidance program to make you successful when you pass out from your graduation and masters. So it's not only a commercial relationship, because we understand that your success is so important to us, because we will only be successful if we help you get that success in your life.
Which is very important, right? Because it's when they get the job, when it's easy for them to settle and get the job, then they can actually begin to pay back. And I think that's an amazing thing that most financial institutions don't currently give. So I will jump into the questions that I have. One of the questions that I have is, what are the courses that are eligible for this loan? Are there courses that are eligible, or I can enroll for any course and then be eligible for it?
That's a very good question. So for Empower, all the degrees are eligible, right? You can start applying. If you are seeking a degree program, feel free to apply at Empower. Having said that, we have seen that the STEM and the MBA applicants, they tend to get a higher salary when they pass out from their colleges or from their universities. So with respect of a higher earning potential, right? We have found that the STEM and the MBA students have been earning quite well. So in this entire process of approvals and helping you out with the loan applications process, I think we would definitely encourage all the borrowers and all the students coming from various facets of programs. But I think good to have STEM and MBA applicants as well, because you know they definitely stand a chance to get an approval faster from Empower.
Okay, that's nice to know that all degrees are eligible, but then because some have the tendency to get more jobs, to get high-paying jobs than the other, it just helps people put this process into perspective, and that's nice. So I'll just be reading a couple of questions from the chat box. And then if you have any question that you want to ask verbally, it would be nice to use the hand raising feature, and then we can ask you to unmute, please. Okay, one of the questions that we have here is, I think this person already submitted an application and hasn't gotten a decision. Please, Folashayo, please send us an email. Send an email to hello@pavehq.com, and then we can actually respond to that information. Okay, another question here is, can we have the recording? The answer is yes. Does Empower support graduate certificates too? That question is from Bola Sholagbade. He wants to know if Empower, okay.
We do not support graduate certificate or diploma courses.
Okay.
It's only degree seeking programs and courses that we support.
Okay, all right. Another question here is, what if I already have an admission in a school that's not on the list supported on the list of supported school?
Well, it's really unfortunate, but at the moment we are offering our loan options and services to those students who are seeking admissions to only our partner universities.
Okay, another question here, it says, it's from John Jade. It says the collateral and co-signer requirement is a security and guarantee measure that the banks will get their money back. What is Empower's security measure or measures?
Well, that's a very good question. We still believe in trust and we still believe in you. That's our major strength. And so far we have not been proved wrong, and we understand that there is, we always feel better and we feel happy to support the meritorious students without collaterals and co-signers. So we have our networks and our peoples at place across who takes care of the repayments. But having said that, I think we are really glad to have very meritorious and good human beings coming to us seeking loan options.
Okay. All right then. Thanks for the response. Another question here by Bamigboye Michael says that, does Empower support students studying courses outside STEM? I think you already answered that.
Yes.
What is the guarantee that the interest rate doesn't change within the duration of the repayment? This is from
that's the guarantee from Empower, and that's why we are so much loved, and we stand out across the globe, because we are one of the very few organizations in this world which offers fixed rate of interest to its borrowers. So I think this is the best chance that you have to sign up for the fixed rate of interest, because you know very well how the Fed rates are really going up. So as soon as you get a chance, please grab, else probably it could be too late.
Okay, this question here is from sorry, I'm trying to read the question properly. It says that, do you guys also help fund nurses process of trying rights? I'm not sure I understand this question. ID, could you maybe rephrase this question so we can answer it? Someone here asked, can I apply for nursing BSc with my SSC? Okay, so, Superior may not be able to give you that information, but please reach out to any of my colleagues. Phone number will be dropped on the group chat. Just reach out to any of my colleagues, and the response will be provided to that inquiry. Another question here is from Jade. It says, what period of time after graduation is the repayment mandatory to start?
Yeah, so we give you 6 months moratorium period after your graduation. So during your graduation for 24 months, you would pay the simple interest. And then again, after you graduate, you will get 6 months wherein you pay simple interest. And your principal amount repayment would start after those 6 months. So if you add all the months, you would be kickstarting your principal amount repayment after 30 months.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Jade, because I see that you asked that same question again. Please, is the loan applicable for undergraduates too? This is from Olatunji Abdul Sobo. I apologize if I murdered your name.
The loan is definitely available for undergraduate students. Having said that, the only last 2 years of the graduation is covered by Empower, not the first 2 years.
Okay. Is Empower only available in the US and Canada? How about UK?
Yeah, that's a good question. We are currently available in US and Canada, and yeah, so not at the moment. UK is not on our radar at the moment.
Okay, so this question is from Bosse Louis, and she said, "Does Empower financing support graduate courses having masters in engineering postgraduate routes?" I hope that was
Please
the
repeat the question.
Does Empower financing support graduate courses having masters in engineering postgraduate routes?
Yes.
Bosse Louis, in case I didn't ask your question properly, you can use the hand raising feature, so that we don't answer wrongly. Okay, another question from John Jade is, when I have my offer, can I apply for the loan while I work on starting my visa using the letter of recommendation from Empower as you've mentioned, or I need to go it alone?
So if I have understood your question right, you're asking
Is asking if you can go to the visa office with a letter of recommendation. I want to believe that the visa support letter is talking about.
So let's clear the air here. Number one, you first of all need to have a letter of acceptance. I'm not talking about I-20, I'm talking about letter of acceptance, admission letter from your university. Number one, right? Number two, once you get it, you start your application process with Empower. If you are eligible, if you have very credible, profile, Empower will offer you with a no collateral, no cosigner loan. You get that loan support letter from Empower, send it to your university, get the I-20, take the I-20, take the loan support letter from Empower, and then you sit for the visa interview.
Okay. Okay, Jade, you said I didn't answer. The questions are not the same. So I'm going to ask the second question. What repayment plans are available and over what period of months or years?
Repayment plans are pretty simple. It's a simple interest repayment plan. And we have a maximum loan tenure for 10 years. And you need to pay a simple interest during your study, that is your program and course. We offer you a 6 months moratorium thereafter, and then for the next 10 years you need to pay only your principal repayment and the interest on it.
Okay, Babatunde Esther, your question is, can I be added to the group chat, please? I really don't know what group chat, but you can send an email to hello@pavehq.com if you have any inquiry, or visit www.pavehq.com to start your application. You can apply to any of the eligible schools on the Empower platform, on our platform, and then we can literally help. We're going to help you through the entire process of getting an admission, and then you can request for a loan. Okay, someone here is asking, please, can I process my application without submitting an I-20? That's from
Yes,
Olisa.
you can start your application. You can start your application without an I-20, but you need to submit the letter of admission, letter of acceptance of the university. You need to upload that, only then you will get a loan support letter from Empower, which will in turn help you get an I-20 from your university.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. You're still saying something.
No, it's okay. Fine.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Another question here from, okay, this is Ots 12. It says, please, I missed some part of the presentation. I'm a graduate of accounting, about 42 years of age. Can I say apply for postgraduate course in finance? I want to know if my age is eligible to study. Of course, your age is eligible to study. Okay, for missing the whole presentation, I would please implore you to visit our YouTube page, Pave HQ Africa to get more information. The webinar is being uploaded on the YouTube page. You can watch as many times as possible. You can listen to all of the questions that Superior has answered, and then you can get back to us if you need any further assistance. Okay, and then this question is from Folashayo. It says, also, can you list the main reasons for Empower loan rejection, probably for prospective students to avoid such mistakes? Okay, Folashayo,
well, that's a good question. That's a good question. So we will always encourage candidates applying for an Empower loan to avoid any delinquency in their credit history. Right? We do not need any particular credit score per se, but if you have an existing one, we definitely would love to look into it. And it's very important for us to have a non-delinquent credit history when you're applying for a loan.
Okay, could you explain that? What does that really mean in layman terms?
So delinquency here means that there should not be any defaults in repayment of your existing loan or debt if you have it.
Okay. Here, this question is also from it's from G Wallet. He wants to know, do I have to pay my interest every month till I graduate then? Now start paying the loan? If so, will I not have paid over the principal even before I graduate?
So, well, we only charge the simple interest, at the beginning of your, like when you are in studies, like when you are in the graduation, and 6 months thereafter, and your principal amount will start reducing only after those 6 months moratorium period. So your principal amount plus interest payment would kickstart only after you have graduated from the university and you have exhausted your 6 months moratorium.
Okay, thank you for that, responding to that question. And this question is from Folasi. How do I get started? Any registration or application fee? Okay, on the Empower part, there's no registration or application fee, but on the pay part where you need to, if you don't have an admission, where we have to assist you with the admission process, we only charge a token of 100 USD, which is about 72,000 naira, roughly 72,000 naira, and then we take you through the entire application process. So how do you get started? You get started by visiting www.pavehq.com to start an application to any of the eligible Empower University. John Jade has another question. If my study is a one-year master degree program with fees over $70K, do you provide loan for that? And is the principal repayment still after 6 months? Is still after 6 months after graduation?
Yeah, that's a very good question, John. So yes, we are perfectly fine. If it is a degree program and it's of a 1 year's duration, that is completely fine with us. And yes, once you graduate, you'll still get a 6 months moratorium period, and then thereafter you would be required to start the repayment of the principal amount.
Okay. And then there's also a question from ID Chris. I think he refers this question for better understanding. It says, does Empower also help fund nurses trying to write National Council Licensure Examination, NCLEX, bearing in mind Nigerians can't write this exam in Nigeria so as to be able to practice in the US or Canada? I hope you understand the question.
So, well, I do understand this question. The point is, any and every particular program that we fund needs to be a degree program. So even if you're going and opting for a program for nursing, it needs to be a degree program, and I think it would be valid for a funding.
Okay, so if it's a degree program, the answer is yes, but and the school is eligible or it's eligible for funding.
Yes,
the answer is yes. Okay, yes. Do we have anybody that wants to ask a question verbally? Maybe you haven't typed in your question. You want Superior to answer 1 or 2 questions that you have, just to clear the air. You can use the raise hand feature, and then we can unmute you, and then you can ask your question. But then please note that at Pave HQ, we help you ensure a seamless application process where you can apply to multiple schools using one platform. So it means that if you have 3 or 4 schools eligible for the loan, and you're trying to apply to 3 or 4, you can apply to 3 or 4 of those schools using one platform. And then we only charge you once, which is a service fee of 100 USD, which is about 72,000. So you don't have to keep looking for submitting your application to different schools at different times. Use our platform. It's a centralized platform where you can apply to as many multiple schools at the same time. And then when you're done, we can then, if you get your conditional offer, you can go through the loan process using the link that we shared in the chat box. After this webinar, we'll be sending an email across to everyone that attended with the link to apply. And then if you have any question, you can please go ahead and ask, or you can ask via email, and I'm sure that we can get responses for you. I think I received an email from Atoyebi Folashayo. Please note that we'll try as much as possible to ensure that we're able to get a response for you to that email. Do we have anybody with any further question that you want to ask? Any question? Please use the hand raise feature. Don't forget that our website is www.favehq.com. And for those that ask for the UK loan, please don't worry. As much as possible, try to make the educational process as easy and seamless as possible. I can guarantee you that we have something coming up for the UK audience as well. But now we work with Empower, and Empower is an amazing financial institution that gives loans to African students to study in US and in Canada. So please start your study for 2023 intake. You can start your application now. Do not delay so that you can get application from the school. Okay, ID, I can see your hands up. So please go ahead and ask your question.
I could see here a couple of questions here. Number one,
Hello.
Okay, Supriya, please let ID ask this question. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, please. I'm asking in regards to the PAVE, your agency. Now you talked about $100 to be paid for the admission process. Now, since you guys are a collaborating agency with Empower, are we going to also pay something for you to pull this thing through? What about if someone would just want to relax and leave everything at you for you guys to process the loan and all that? Is there any amount we also have to pay?
Okay, we don't charge for loan. Empower is giving the loan for free, so we don't charge for loan. So application to your loan is free. The loan you're supposed to. The reason why we advise that you apply for the loan by you fill the information by yourself is because there are personal information that they might be asking concerning, and then it would be nice that you are the one filling it yourself. But then if you need assistance, when you have questions, our team will be very happy to guide you through.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Demola, I can see your hand up. Please go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much for the session. So I have two questions. The first question is, so I've gone through the Empower website, and I found out that my school is not one of those listed, right? So I wanted to find out what the process is like. I mean, do you have an opportunity to suggest or list a school, or maybe liaise with your school to come on Empower? Or typically, how does the process of school onboarding works? So that's one.
Okay, so okay, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, and two, the interest rate as well. Is it a fixed interest rate or a variable interest rate?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to answer the first one and let Supriyo answer the second one. If your school is not on Empower, then you need to actually check the ranking of the school, because they only partner with schools that are, that are well high ranked, and then they also offer very good. And that's the reason why as well they partner with the school, so that at the end of your graduation period, it's easy for you to get a job. So if your school is not on the Empower list, then I think you need to reconsider the school you're going to and check as well. Because even the schools that are, the Ivy League schools are on their platform. So they partner with top schools, So I'm going to let Supriyo respond to the other question.
So the interest rate that we offer is absolutely a fixed interest rate. It's not variable in nature. So you can be absolutely sure of that you would be paying a very fixed EMI throughout the tenure of the loan.
Okay, in addition to the question that you asked, Ademola, there's also the possibility, I'm sure that over time, they are also an organization that expand, okay? And then I'm sure that expansion is part of their plan. If there is any need for them to onboard more schools, I'm sure that they would actually work around that. Okay, so I have Walexi Well, Alex, you can unmute and ask your question. Please go ahead and unmute. Sorry. Well, Alex, if you're saying something, okay. All right, good. Go ahead. We can't hear you. I think you're in a very noisy environment. You need to mute your mic. Okay, your environment is pretty noisy. I think maybe typing the question would be better because it's a bit noisy. In the absence of any more questions, please note that you can start your application on our platform, www.pavehq.com. You can select any of the eligible Empower schools. Okay, there's Olisa. Olisa, this will be the last question that we're taking because our time is fast spent. So you can unmute yourself, Olisa, and ask your question.
Hi, good afternoon. Sorry, I had to ask a question at the last minute. So my question was earlier. I don't know if he's around. The Empower representative is still around. But earlier on, I got an admission to Grand Valley State University, and I uploaded my document, but I was told to provide my I-20, and then the procedure for providing my I-20 was I should get the bank document, which I do not have enough form for that. So I don't know, but since you mentioned the criteria, okay, so I'm not asking if I'm sure to bring a recommendation letter, which I know if I'm applying for two or three different schools. Will the recommendation letter be addressed to particular schools? Because I'm considering doing that again, like following the application process again. Should the admission be addressed to who may be concerned without attaching the school address, or should I just make it personal for each school upon getting
the question? That's a very good question.
That would be the last question because Supriyo has to jump off. So go ahead.
Well, for each and every particular university, you need to start a fresh application. And that is number one. So if you're applying to 3 universities, so on Empower, you need to kickstart 3 different applications for 3 different universities. And that's something.
All right. Thank you very much, Supriyo, for taking out the time. Before we all jump off this call, it is important for you to know that we'll be having an open house session on Friday where you can come into our office at 32 Alaja Kokorola Crescent off Awolowo Way, Ikeja. I'm sure the address will be dropped on the group chat where you can as well see it. 32 Alaja Kokorola Crescent off Awolowo Way, Ikeja. And then our phone number, our website is www.pavehq.com. You can follow us on all our social media handles at PaveHQ Africa. If you have any questions you want to ask, please send us an email at hello@pavehq.com. If you also want to call us, please call any of our, you can call any of our phone numbers. 1 minute. Okay, the phone numbers will be dropped on the group chat as well, where you can as well view them. Okay, if you have any question, please don't hesitate to send us an email at hello@pavehq.com or follow us on any of our social media handles. Thank you very much for your time, everyone, and thank you, Supriyo. We appreciate your time, and we hope that you come on board some other time to educate some new set of people on how to assess your loan. And this brings us to the end of this webinar. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Olamiji, and thank you, entire PAVE team. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Yes, bye.